Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to Spyro Prototype Chilled. Today we are doing something a little bit different before we make it to the Nork Nexus. We are going to go on a treasure hunt because, if you remember, at one point I lost some of my save data and I had to run back through the game until I got back to where I was, and as a result, in this prototype, we need 7,000 treasure to be able to get to Nork Nexus, and I was going to do this off screen, but I decided that it could be a fun little side quest. So we do have most of Beastmakers because we were good at this point, as well as Magic Crafters. Well, actually, you can see here, this is actually where I start to have some missing stuff, so I think we can go back to Artisan's World and collect some treasure to get up to that 7,000 that we need, because right now we have 6,333, and as you can see, the Artisan Worlds are quite empty. So in order to do that in the prototype, and part of why I thought it would be fun to include this in the series, is the way you approach the balloonists. So we have to actually go back to the beginning of each homeworld to get to the previous homeworld, as opposed to having a balloonist's menu of travel locations. So we have this balloonist saying we can go back to the Magic Crafters world now if you like. And that is what we need to do. So now we can talk to this dude and go back to Peacekeepers. And then we can talk to the next dude and get back to the Artisan's World. He says he would love to take us back to the Artisan World if we'd like to go. So he must be a big fan, or he just really doesn't want to be in Peacekeepers right now. Now, of course, we also don't have the hot air balloon animation. If you're new here, this may be news to you, but if you've been here, you know this already. So the first thing we're gonna do is, actually, let's see. Yes, get the 300, well, I like to call free coins in Sunny Flight. So fun thing about Spyro on Flying Worlds is that you get gems even though you don't realize you're getting gems. Now this is very chaotic in the prototype. As you can hear, we instantly have a countdown timer that makes us feel like we might be having a panic attack. This is because I don't know why. I don't know if they hadn't fixed the times yet for what they wanted to see in the final version, if they were just testing things out. I'm not sure, but this is what we're stuck with at the moment. And of course we have these two guys. Not great at all, but we will swing by and get these arches, and then we'll swing back down, get hopefully another train, and then we'll swing over here. That is all the trains, which is rare to have gotten them all at this point. We'll get these two flying guys, flying Norks if you will, and then onto the rest of the arches. And finally, the treasure chest cave. So let's see if we mapped this out okay. And then once we're done, we will have 300 gems. 300 gems that we need in order to get where we are going, which is Nork Cove. This actually ends up being perfect. I'm kind of impressed. This is better than the round I had in the original part of this playthrough. I'm sure you could go back and watch, and it will not have been this smooth. I mean, look, we still had 26 seconds left. That's pretty cool. Alright. I would not like to try again. Thank you, though. Thank you. Okay. So, as we exit the building, we can now, well, we might as well collect what's here in the actual homeworld. Because why not? Because why not? And of course, if you're new here, you may not know that this series is for relaxation. It started as a joke back in the day whenever I wore sunglasses during a recording of my prototype playthrough, and I decided to make it quote-unquote chill. And because of that, I've decided to keep a series of Spyro going, hopefully at all times, that is chill, whether you want to call it ASMR or just something relaxing, it will be a thing. And because of that, I have added some new shirt designs to my merch shop. So, my favorite right now, I think, is actually the one I'm wearing, which says relax, and it has a silhouette of Spyro on the front of it, and this was inspired, let me calm down for a second. This was inspired by the thumbnails that I actually make for Spyro Prototype Chilled. I always have Spyro doing this or this, kind of looking around. So I actually concepted the design with a silhouette of a Spyro pose from one of my thumbnails, and my wife made the art. So this shirt was actually given away in a giveaway in my Discord server, and I do plan on doing more giveaways as time goes on. At this point, I do not know who won at the time of recording, but someone owns this shirt right now, and I bet you they're watching. If you were the person who ended up winning this shirt, leave a comment below. But yeah, so anyway, these are available on my merch store, but like I said, I will be continuing giveaways of merch over time, so definitely join the Discord server if that's something you are interested in. I feel like everyone loves a free t-shirt. I know I do. Alright, so let's get more gems and inch our way closer to Nork Nexus. I feel like this is just a nice little refresher of this prototype experience as well. You know, early on, as a reminder, you know, we do get some dragon cutscenes, sometimes we do not. So, for example, I'm sure we've been over this in the past, but this dragon says, this vortex will take you back to the artisan home where you can enter the other artisan lands. If you want to continue exploring, then do not step into the vortex. And the vortex looks quite funky compared to the final version. And one of the gems in the whole gem count happens to be in the vortex, which means you cannot complete the level by merely exiting the level from the pause menu. You actually have to take the portal to 100% the level. So, very interesting, I think. But yeah, this prototype is really cool. Again, this is the June 15th, 1998 prototype. And I do plan on doing more Spyro 1 prototypes that I can get my hands on, as well as other prototypes throughout the entire Spyro trilogy, for sure. But I'd like to see if there are prototypes for other Spyro games throughout the series, but that is a we'll see. A very big we'll see. I haven't looked into it yet. Everybody loves Stonehill. I will say that Stonehill music is used a lot in the prototype to fill in for where music tracks apparently were not final yet. So that's a fun little fact. Fun little fact. And of course we have this guy, which we don't really need him right now for this specific playthrough because we already got him earlier on if you want to check out the playlist. It's funny because the first few episodes of this are really old. They're from 4 or 5 years ago probably, and I admittedly do not remember what I was saying, but That's what happens when I have to pause and start my recording back again. So we're gonna go down here and we're gonna get this treasure chest. Or, hear me out, we can go back down there and then instantly go right back up. That was an accident. And let's see how many gems we can get from this. And then check our inventory and see how close we're getting. Ah, less than 200 left. So I'll tell you what, it'll be faster for us, in my humble opinion, to exit the level and go to the likes of maybe Dark Hollow to get the rest. And that will be that for this filler episode of Spyro Prototype Chilled. But I find it fun. This is it's very relaxing to go through these levels and collect everything we need for a specific goal. So who knows, maybe someday you'll see Spyro speedruns chilled. That would be a challenge, but who knows, maybe I'll do it someday. Pick a speedrun goal, see how fast I can go. Now I will say with speedruns, there are some people out there who, wow, actually speedrun the games properly, but I am not one of those people. I do, however, like to do little challenges, little speedrun goals here and there. I think it's fun. It's really fun to do it with friends. So that's something that will probably happen eventually, but for now, we can think about the concept a bit longer. Alright, this big guy, he's gotta go. He just has to go. And I think we'll get some gems from the library section that will do us quite well. Now these guys are quick. Oh boy, see, the slightest hesitation and you best go back. See, he knows I'm here. But oh well. But oh well. Okay. Same with this guy. He probably knows. Oh, he does not know I'm here. Ha ha. Joke's on you, buddy. Okay. I always, since I was a kid, have struggled with that gem right there. It's very easy for me to forget about it. And yes, because we have been here already in the playthrough, I am not stopping for most of the dialogue, but you are welcome to pause if you haven't seen older episodes, or if you want to see older episodes. Just remember that the playlist is available anytime for you to be able to do so. Alright. Let's see what we got here. Always grab some extra lives that will absolutely not hurt, especially as we approach the North Nexus. This is very different looking. But let's get out of here and see. I don't remember that in recent parts. What an interesting sound effect. Oh wow, we are almost there. Okay, I think what we can do is just hop into town square real quick. And then we should be golden. Actually, we might even be able to get them here. Oh my. I mean, this guy's not dropping a lot, but it's worth a quick stop. Let's get up here. grab these. Oh no, Sparks doesn't seem to be as, I don't know, just as good at his job as he normally is in the prototype. I feel like in the prototype he's a little bit, he's got less of a radius, I feel, of his coverage. I don't know if anyone else who has played this notices that, or if that is just me, but is something that I feel like is rather noticeable. And we'll get this chest, and then I think we will be good. We will be good to move on. Let's see. Wow, no, not quite there. Quick hop into town square should do us good. So let's go. Bok bok goes the chicken. You know, I kind of understand why people describe chicken sounds as bok bok. I can kind of hear it. I kind of hear that these guys are going bok bok, but it's funny that we make up the sounds of sounds with the English language, at least. Instead of trying to mimic the sound of the creature, we simply make an English word describing what the creature sounds like. I think that's funny. It's funny. Humans are funny. They are very interesting creatures. This guy is a turd whacker. That's what I like to call people who aren't grateful for our help. I save him from a bull and he still says, "Loyal to King Nasty Gnorky." And I say, "Mistake. You could have come to the good side, but you chose not to. And what'd you get for it? Reared in the ass." Alright, 7,020, so we are officially good to go to the Nork Nexus. Again, as a reminder, in the actual playthrough officially of this, we have completed everything. We are 100%ing Spyro 1, but I had a save data issue and had to rush to the end of the game. So we are going back to get enough coins to continue forward. But if you've been following the playthrough, you know we are 100%ing everything now, which to me is not difficult to do in Spyro 1. Now when you get into Spyro 2 and Spyro 3, doing a full 100% is a little bit trickier. It's a little bit more frustrating. But, you know, Spyro 1, 100% is a low-hanging fruit in my opinion. Spyro 1 is very doable. It's such a good game. And I do really appreciate the fan levels we're seeing in the Spyro 1 style. Now while we're here, I just did find out, at the time of recording, which is probably a month ago at this point, because that's how far I stay scheduled out, that Bun Baroness, the creator of Spyro Crisis and Chronolia, has decided to retire the fan game and hand off, you know, the project to fans if they'd like to continue it or do something with it. And I just want to say that Spyro Crisis and Chronolia has been an amazing game. It's been so therapeutic and fun, and I just wanted to call out to anyone watching that although that game is being retired by its original dev, Bun Baroness, I want to wish Bun Baroness all the good things in her personal life, and I also want to say that there's a lot of fan work still going on in the community, so I don't think anyone should lose hope. Because of this announcement, I think that there's plenty of Spyro content that will be continued to be made from fans, whether or not the devs that have the title in their hands do make any more Spyro games or not. So just wanted to reiterate that message, let everyone know who maybe doesn't know that Crisis in Chronolia has been cancelled by the original dev. Again, the assets have been handed off to the public if they would like to continue the game, and I'm sure that people will be messing with it and doing different things. But yes, I just wanted to say that, and then also say thank you to Bum Baroness for the amazing content that has been made. I would love to see Crisis and Cornelia finished. If you haven't seen those fan levels yet, definitely check them out on the playlist that is on my channel. They're really cool, and what's really cool about them to me is that although it's not finished or complete, there is a section for playable levels by other characters besides Sheila. There are Hunter levels and Elora levels and Bianca levels. So now, as you can see, there's been a lot of talk about the Machinists. And I haven't seen this for myself before in person, but here we are. He's calling Nork Nexus the Machinists World. So we're going to go ahead and go here and do the main part of the home world and save the game, and then in the next part, wait a second. No, we're not. You know why? Because we're already in Nork Cove. What the heck? The actual hecking heck. What just happened? Hello. We can go back to Dreamweavers if I'd like. Okay, well, spoiler alert, Nork Cove is, as of right now in the prototype, the Machinists. Fun fact. So, if you all are enjoying this content, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more. If you'd like to wear this awesome shirt with me as we continue to go through the prototype, it is also available on my store. And next time, I guess we will hop straight into Nork Cove, which was formerly known as the Machinists. So, thanks for joining this filler episode, and I will see y'all next time. Bye!